Well, welcome. It's father time. I am in Wellington, New Zealand, at the request of one of our subscribers and commenters on the last video. I did a video from Auckland to Queenstown for an RNAV mountainous train arrival, which we're going to do today. But today, we're going to go from Wellington.
Do you want a board crew?
Yeah, I want a board crew. Let's do it.
Crew boss is coming.
Crew boss is coming. Looks like they're going to use the stairs today. We are in Air New Zealand Flight 603 on a flight from beautiful New Zealand, Wellington, which is the capital of New Zealand, third largest city in New Zealand, down to beautiful Queenstown, which Wellington is on the south tip of the North Island. I'm just researching this, and Queenstown is in the South Island of New Zealand. I've never been there.
Pilot's boarding starting.
I now want to. One of the beautiful things about Microsoft Flight Simulator is that you get to go places in the world without ever leaving the comfort of your basement. You get an F-35 there. I bought the package, totally invested in this for the country of New Zealand. I bought the Queenstown package and the Wellington package, airport package. I don't know what it entails. It's very beautiful. It wasn't inexpensive. Let's go see if maybe there's something to look at here. Where's the tower? Huh, must be right up in there. I don't know. We're going to go in here, though. Let's go to the terminal. See what we got. Hello, everyone. Oh, nice, guys. This is the... Well, I've never seen this before. Wellington, hi, do you have employee discount? Yes, employees are notorious for asking for that. This is made by, who is this?
Crew boarding starting.
When we go to the Queenstown package, that's made by Builds. This is made by, I think, Contrails. At least that was the installation package. For those of you from Wellington, New Zealand, there's your airport. You've probably seen it if you're a big fan. We're on flight 603. Queenstown. Yeah, it looks like we're at the right gate. Crew's probably waiting for me. What a beautiful package. Nice job. I think it's Contrails that built it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, guys. Absolutely beautiful. There's a train. I guess it's known for its high winds. Not such the case today. 33% done with the boarding. Let's go see how the boarding. Maybe we'll say hello to a couple of people before we get started. I'm going to... only Paul M. from New Zealand knows what's going to happen on this flight. But I'm going to film, block the whole thing, and it's probably going to take 3 hours. Hello, everyone. This is a flight attendant. How are you? I'm Captain Tall. Captain Short. Very cool. Looks like the people will be coming up momentarily. Let's go in, cold dark airplane, and get this airplane up and running. Let me show you what I got here so far.
Your bus is coming.
There we go. We're going to go from North Island, Wellington, capital of New Zealand, fly down into the mountainous terrain of Queenstown. Queenstown, I think, has like 15,000 people. Beautiful resort-type town. We'll do a approach into the weather into New Zealand. We'll see what happens. Our alternate, I actually gave us enough to come back to Wellington. I'm not sure about the weather in Queenstown. These are our numbers. I've got the route ready to go. I'm not going to do a VATSIM for the purpose of orientation for those of you who are geography challenged. This is the United States over here. It's South America. This is Australia. And this is New Zealand down here. So we're going to be flying from the North Island to the South Island. North Island, Wellington, down to South Island, Queenstown. That's Asia. But there's no controllers online today, so we won't do a VATSIM. Thank God. Here come the passengers. Yeah, I'm such a nerd. I get so excited about this stuff. Got the GSX going on. Yeah, I just love this. So I'm a 36-year American Airlines captain, Air Force before that. Recently retired about a month ago. And flight sim is part of my retirement plan. I'm just having a blast. I was worried about myself in retirement, thinking maybe I'm kind of a hyper guy. I'm filling up my time. My days are just so full. This is part of it. I get up nice and early, get this done. I'm not too much of a burden on the family. Anyway, I'm going to be around, guys. Please subscribe down there in the bottom corner. Click on me. You can see any of my videos and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It's free. We do have a membership if you want to join. We don't have any members right now. I just established it. It's like $2 a month or something. I don't know what you get for that. No ads. I'm not in this for the money, though, guys. I'm honestly in it for the challenge of it. I am so challenged by this whole operation. And I'm just loving the community. We have a Discord, too. I'll leave that a link just below. But this is going to be Wellington to Queenstown, a mountainous train arrival, bad weather.
Passengers bus is coming.
Leave any comments, suggestions, especially on operating the simulator. I just started flight simming about 7 or 8 months ago. Here we go. It's quiet. It's quiet. Here we go. Guys, I'm going to be flying today with Bob. Bob's the world's quietest co-pilot. He's not much help. You'll notice I'm working my butt off. But anyway, we come in the cockpit. We check that there's no placards, no nothing. We review the logbook. Throttle's idle. We got the reverse levers down. Speed brake levers down. Passengers board is starting. I thought it already had started. Wipers are off. Hydraulic panel. Make sure that's all the pumps are off. Do a battery. Put on the external power. I'm going to start the APU. I know it's a little loud out there, but I'm going to start it for sim purposes. Get these all on and get the IRSs up and running. Do the fire test before we start the APU, but we're not going to do anything like that. So we're going to come down here, get the box initiated. 787-10, Trent's, that's right. And today is the 9th of October 2023. Yeah, I retired September 6th, so coming up on 5 weeks, really. And that's good. Position it. We're going to put in our airport, which is NZWN for Wellington. NZ. When I was trying to learn how to do all this stuff, and I'm still learning, I found that there were very, very few videos that were soup to nuts, cold dark airplane. It's hard to find because they got too long. I do long videos. You can watch it as much as you want. All coming on, getting them all done. She's on every flight, this woman in the front flannel shirt. She must be my biggest fan. Looks like 158 people are on board. Very cool. All right, so now we're going to go to route. And instead, we're going to go here because this is the new sim brief on the update 13. You go to the index page, right? If you haven't done it before, you go to settings, which isn't on the real FMC. Go to next page, and you put in your sim brief user ID or your username. Okay? Previous page. Then you go to weight and balance, and you set it from operational flight plan. And update your zero fuel weight. I always cross-check that against what I thought I was going to have. And I thought I was going to have 373.5. That's 373.5. And fuel on board, I thought I was going to have 39.7. 39.4. That's good. That's good. Cargo's
passengers
correct.
Boarding starting.
Yeah, passengers boarding. They haven't been going a while. All right, now we can go to route request. I even write down the route I'm expecting just to make sure everything is good. Flight plan is ready to load. This stuff, of course, doesn't come up on the regular airplane. Load. What does it load? It loads everything but the stars and the SIDS. So it's loaded. Let's take a look at it. Upload, yeah, November 5/16. That's what we had. So I'm going to go departures arrival. We're not going to do a SID out of here. We're going to depart on runway 6. That. Then I'm going to come in here, index, CQN. We're just going to go radar vectors departure. And we're going to do the RNAV Zulu into runway 5, Ababdu Tristan. So I did a flight from Auckland to Queenstown, I'm sorry guys, to demonstrate the El Route 2 Alpha right there, to demonstrate the RNAV approach and arrival for another viewer. Then I picked up this, you guys like to be called Kiwis, or is that derogatory? Oh, by the way, I'm a huge fan of the All Blacks rugby. I played rugby in college and in the Air Force a little bit, so I'm a big fan of all that stuff. So here we go. Let's we review the FMC. Let's do it together. Bob will hold the flight plan.
Hello.
I can get him to do anything over there. Bob, let's show these guys what you got today, buddy. All right, let's show them what you got. I know that's, guys, that's kind of harassing poor Bob. And then, all right, so we got Wellington to Queenstown, runway 6.
Passengers bus is coming.
Air New Zealand 603. We got direct to upload. I'm going to check this against what I wrote down for my clearance from SimBrief. Sabdu, Yankee 222 Msfs. And then it says Hotel 159 CH, Yankee 266 L RUV. And then the next page, project to X box.
Passengers boarding starting.
The L RAL 2 Avgar Ababu. All right, and then we go to the legs, and we go back up here to plan, and we actually just walk through from the beginning, the whole plan with the guy, upload, check in it against the map as we do it, make sure it pops up in the center of the map, all the way down. What we're looking for is any kind of discontinuities, and there aren't, all the way down. We'll check the arrivals we get going. There's a arcing approach into the RNAV approach at Queenstown. Always exciting. Missed approach is even more exciting. Look at that missed approach. You mountainous terrain. Yikes. Okay, and then we go to Prague, and the distance we were expecting was 425. We got 415. All we're looking for is in the ballpark, guys. And very critical that you check that, even in the sim. It honestly is. So I'm going to go back in here.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Zero few 8, what did I say it should be? Memory like a steel trap, huh? 0 few 8, 373.5. That's not right, so 373.5. Reserves are going all the way back. So I'm going to have 12, 10. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? 12. Because we're going to go all the way back to Wellington. As you can see, it's a beautiful day here. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Cost index I had on here is, really sorry if this is boring to you, but it's important that we all know how to do this, right? Especially me, since I'm doing the video. Now, rather than do anything else here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go winds. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you how to use the electronic flight bag. Sure, you know, back here I can go back to map. Waiting for your action. Close passenger door 1. Okay, we'll be ready in a second. Go here. GSX. Prepare for pushback and departure. Okay. Let them do it. And where were we? Route data. Wind request. It's coming up. That's for the legs. Load them. Load them, Dano. VNAV. Climb forecast. Load them.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Don't find me rude, guys. I'm going to just ignore them for just a while. Forecast. Here we go. Load them. Those are all good. Init. What do we say? Cost index 99. I'm not going to go all the way up to, I can go to 40, I guess. It's kind of high. Let's just go to 34, guys. Why get crazy? By the way,
Departure checks completed.
this is an A320 flight. We're flying the 787. We'll talk more about that later. New service by Air New Zealand. They got a special waiver from the Air New Zealand FAA to fly a giant airplane in there to a 6,000-foot runway. I like to think I had something to do with that. All right, so here we go. That's all baloney, of course. Initialize the flight. Ignoring the ground crew. Here we go. That is Wellington, runway 16. Condition dry. Wind. Oh, let's find that out. I think it's a little tailwind, guys. I gotta lie. I'm lying. I'm taking off on 16 because I wanted to get out of here a little faster instead of 34. Not sure that's actually true because it's going to tax you a little further. Let's go back in here. Weather. ATIS. There's no VATSIM ATIS. Real, nothing. Cloud Edge, nothing. METAR. Okay, so altimeter is... So right now in Wellington, it's 0206. Ceiling visibility, okay. 157. It's going to rain later on today with some towering Q. Few. 10. What is the altimeter right now? That's what I'm really looking for. Altimeter 1012. So before I do anything else, let me go in here and get that altimeter. I want to show you something that's you'll find interesting. Oh, wait a minute. It's not. Let me do that. So we're going to say, what did I say the weather was? Sorry, guys. Sorry. 010 at 9. A little bit of a tailwind. 010 at 9. It's not going to let me do anything until I get this loaded. 010 at 9. Now, my guy Benchy on our flight we just flew together, outside air temperature, shot me a little trick. I'm going to show it to you. Outside air temperature is 11 Celsius. 11. Altimeter is it 1002? 1002. What is that? Let me see something. I'll have to come back to that. So I'm just going to go 2992 now because it's on inches. Well, we can try it. Let's try 1002. 1002. 2959 at HG. Okay, and then that's a very low altimeter. Weather must be coming in. Optimum there, flap configuration, optimum, air conditioning configuration, engine auto, and nothing in the climb. CG, I start off at 31 in here, guys. 31 and calculate. Now what's really cool here, no takeoff allowed, plan to max takeoff weight, allowable weight of 328.3. We're going to go anyway, because how long is this runway here? It is flight, Wellington, taxi. Everything we're doing is illegal, guys, okay? Everything we're doing. And we go to the next page. It is on glide slope to 5,000 feet. We can get out of here. Sure we can. We're going to go max power. Max power. All right, so that's good. Now we know that, right? So don't tell your friends. No, what I was going to tell you is that normally you can, it says send output, you can send the output over. But we're going to get out of here because I want to be heavyweight when I get to Queenstown for demonstration purposes. So, as usual, everything we're doing here is illegal. So let's go thrust limits. I'm going to go TO, not reduced, climbs TO, takeoff. We're going to go flaps, let's go short runway, so flaps 15. Actually, we'll do improved performance. Let's do improved performance, which would be flaps 20 for short takeoff, flaps 20. And what did we say that the temperature was out there? 11. 11. There's a CG. FMC pre-flight is complete. 148 in the window. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. Everything we're doing is illegal. You're not going to dispatch the 7-8 illegally. And we are taking off on runway 16. Flight. Runway heading 160. 160. We're even going to use the overrun here. So we'll have like 400 feet. We're going. All right. 160. It's going to be fun. Trust me. Trust me on this, okay? So I don't trust you, Captain Marvel. All right. 160. And we're going to assume we're cleared all the way up to 40,000 feet. And we'll go direct somewhere in there. $40,000 feet, 160. We're going to go VNAV. We'll give ourselves direct on the LNAV once we get going. And let's take a look at the box. Route, runway 16, Air New Zealand 603. All right, I think we're almost ready. Just take a look outside. We'll get out of the drone mode. Looks like the tug is all hooked up. Look at that paint job, guys. Yeah, I downloaded the Air New Zealand paint job too. My guy Benchu would be proud of me. I did it myself. Installed that bad boy. All right, we took a look at the airport, and we took a look at the inside of the terminal. We've got the box all ready to go. Let's run the checklist. Bob, let's run the checklist. I'll do it, Bob. All right, so we got the passenger signs. Right, we run a checklist, right? Overhead. We're going to turn those bad boys on. We're going to assume that we're getting ready here. So I'm going to do all the hydraulic pumps. I'm going to get the window heat on. Bob will be helping me. I know it. No center take pumps. We got the nav lights are on. We'll get the beacons. We'll say we're cleared to push. Get that wing on auto. I'm not going to do the overhead, guys. I know how to do that. You know how to do it. But it's 4 columns, right? Get everything going. Packs, auto, and okay. Here we go. These poor people. They have no idea, right? Passenger signs are on. MCP. 148's V2 VNAVs on there. We're going to go max power, and 160 to heading, climbing to 40,000 feet. Only aircraft on the field. I'm looking at my messages. Cabin temperature. Ooh, the cabin temperature is a little high. Let's check at that. What is going on? Cabin temperature. We're asking for 74. That's because, and it's 11, it's cold. That's because I never turned the packs on. So that's it. TCAS is off. We'll get our squawk. And let's say our squawk, we'll set the VHF up in a second. And our squawk is, I don't know, what do you want? 3422. Put that on. Squawk TA. RA, and the frequencies, yeah, we'll just simulate them, okay, guys? The whole flight. I have so much work to do. What is this? What is this light? Yeah, I don't know what that is. We'll see. This may be the world's shortest briefing. I'm going to go master. I'm going to assume that's just wrong. And the reason is, guys, if it were right, when I went recall, right? Recall, you would have something here. Engine shutdown, driver pressure, cabin temperature, fuel oil pressure, and the manual APU running. Yeah, I don't know what that is. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to call that a simism. Takeoff speeds. We're going to assume it's just a TO, NADP2. And so if you go to init, takeoff, you got to check page 2. Engine out is 800. Power reduction is 1500, cleanup's 1500. If it were NADP1, like a lot of places are in Europe and around the world for noise abatement, we'd have to put Excel height in here at 3000. Engine out 800, 3000, whatever your airline wants. 1500 climb reduction. So 15 and 3000 are NADP1. Most European destinations are that. We're not going to do any of this. Reference outside, we're not going to do any of that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. Previous page, I'll be there. Takeoff page, good. CDU pre-flight, we checked. Trim, we'll just get that in the green band, guys. And it's, I'm not going to, I set an arbitrary CG because I didn't have one. Just going to make sure that's in the green band, right in the middle. And that's good. Only problem is you have to override the trim to do that. Item override. Taxi takeoff briefing, talk about, and normals. That'll be before taxi. All right, Bob, it's my takeoff. We're going from Wellington to Queenstown in mountainous terrain and lousy weather. You ready to go? You ready for this? Bob's got nothing, so we'll continue. And anything prior to 80 knots will execute the abort. We're doing a max power takeoff, and if we get to within 2,000 feet on the runway, we haven't hit rotation speed, we'll do it. Our minimum unstick speeds probably around 135 or so, so we'll be fine there. We'll fly it out of here illegally. We'll go to Wellington. We'll go to Queenstown illegally, and we'll land somehow illegally. Any questions, Bob? Nope. Love you. I really do love you. Not really. Okay, so here we go. So, all right. Are we ready? I do believe we are ready. Let me just check one last check of the overhead. Everything looks good. We checked the, they got a ground power still available. So let's tell them we're ready to push. Deboarding no longer available. Fuel truck boarding completed. Continue pushback. And we want to go. Which way do we want to go? You know? Which way do we want to go? We are the champions, my friend. We're here. We'll just go nose to the right. Come out here and taxi. Okay? Nose right. Let's go in. Nose right. Tail left. Right here.
Locking gear.
Yeah, this is cool. I have fun. You know, this is so much easier than VATSIM. And I've been doing a lot of VATSIM lately. Number one thing is nobody's yelling at you. I got yelled at yesterday in Boston. I ended up giving a not so classy comment back to him. He couldn't hear it. I just did it to myself in the cockpit. So I put Bob in there and cut that
Release
out.
parking brakes.
Not
please.
proud of that. Okay, brakes release. Here we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Who's will? All right, so we're going to come in here. We're going to go start. See the packs go to off. Going to come down. Radio. That's the wrong panel there for us. These are my presets. I'm going to let Bob start so we can look outside. Bob's watching the start from me. You got it, Bobby? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There we go. So we're going to go outside. They would have moved all these stairs. Engines are starting. Take a look around. That's the airport package. So I got the paint job, I got the airport package, and both. I am all in on New Zealand, baby. There's a tower. Kind of a funky place. He's way over there. Should we fly over there? We got time, right? Let's fly over the tower. Excuse me. Excuse me, fellas. Another F-35. Is that F-22? I don't know. Long time since I've been in the Air Force. See if we can see anything. The guy's controlling the parking lot. Did you put anything in the tower? I guess not. But anyway, that's cool. There we are. He's still pushing. Ask for nose right. Maybe I didn't. Is he going to bring me right out onto the taxiway? It's all right.
Please set parking brakes.
All right. Thought I set him. Nope, didn't.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
It just say cabin temperature, guys, but I don't really see that. Let me see something. I'm going to confirm a good engine start. Naturally, wouldn't go with a problem with that.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Cockpit temperature. I'm looking to see if maybe I have something wrong with the packs. Auto, recirc fans are all on. And it's funny when you go to the cockpit temperature, that's what's selected, 24. It's probably just because it's cold back there, because I got the packs on kind of low. That's what we're going to assume, okay, guys? Because it's too scary otherwise. All right, he's doing it. I'll say, Bob, flaps 20, please. 1, 2. And we're going to go, this is a short field takeoff. Flaps 20. Gets our rotation speed down. Improved performance will be packs off.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
All right, hit recall.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Just the temperature, it's cold. And flight controls. Let's go outside for that, guys, because I don't trust this. Yesterday my rudders didn't work, but today it's all working. Look at that paint job. Oh my goodness, that's nice. All right, back inside. Bobby, checklist, flight controls, auto brakes, RTO. Should have already got that. Ground equipment's good. APU, let's go to the overhead. APU is off. Let's go back down here. Normal. Flaps are set before takeoff. Checklist is complete. Let's go back outside. Make sure everyone's gone. Yeah. And we want to go all the way down there. Yeah, no, we'll turn. We'll probably end up a little bit over here, but we should be okay. We'd have to get wing walkers to do this one. Let's go back inside. And before I forget it, I'm going to get the HUD on. Usually you don't get that, so just prior to takeoff. All right, Bob, clear left. Clear left. Thanks, Bobby. And clear right. Here we go. Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. On our way to Queenstown. What could go wrong, right, guys? What could go wrong? Let's go outside and watch this. So I'm going to take this airplane, the 787, to on the VATSIM event eastbound, across the pond eastbound on October 28th. I've been practicing with it. I have my last airplane I flew for American Airlines is 777. 787 is very familiar to me because they actually, Boeing, wanted to have a common type rating, but the FAA in the United States wouldn't allow it. They said there's just too many differences with the box, the HUDs, as such. Truth is, I think it would have been fine having common type rating, having checked myself out on this now. What a beautiful, beautiful scenery pack in a beautiful country. I'll have to see if my wife will go with me to New Zealand. All right. I'd like to go to Australia and New Zealand. I've never been to anywhere. I actually haven't been to China, Japan. I've been to India. That's the only Asian country. I've never been to anywhere else in Asia. All of Europe, South America, Caribbean. All right, what we do is weights, winds, and temperature. We update the box. Weights, we're max power, so we want to make sure we came in at or below our takeoff weight. If we were over it, we'd have to get new numbers, which of course are illegal. So weights are good. Bob updates the box with a new zero fuel weight. Winds, we make sure we have a headwind. If we have a tailwind, you subtract around 3,300 knots, 3,300 pounds per knot. So if you had 10 knots of tailwind, that's 33,000 pounds. Everything we're doing is illegal, so. Weights, winds, and temperature. Because we're max, temperatures out there is 11. If our TPS is for 11 and it was 12 out there, we need new numbers as well. Weights, winds, and temperatures checked, and I say check. MCP and radios. We come in, we got 148, 160 on the head and climbing to 40. Engine out is 810. All right, checked. Weights, MCP is checked, runway 16. We check the box, make sure we have the correct runway. That's critical because if you're doing a SID, which we're not today, we're going to go radar vectors. You could have the wrong, let's say you were taking off on 35 right and you had 35 center in there, the initial turn, it would correct you off to the left to pick up that ground track and get yourself violated, if not hurt, right? Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. I'm going to go to the overhead. And I need to set up a taxi view. I did in the 777 when I was over on P3D. I'm going to put everything on, guys. I'm going to go ding. Weights, winds, and temperature check. Before takeoff, checklist is complete. Clear for takeoff, finals clear. And let's say that Wellington Tower clears us for takeoff. We're going to do a static takeoff. Actually, we probably could do rolling would be better with the short runway. Normally a static is the best way. You get them up to full power. I better do that. Yeah, we're at takeoff weight. We're at 411. Our max takeoff weight on this runway, it said, is 310. I don't know about that. We have a pretty heavy load. We have 314 packs and 18,000 pounds of cargo. So naturally, guys, what I want to do is be right near max landing weight for Queenstown at 400,000. It's actually up more than 6,000 feet, more than the runway. But I wanted to be real heavy landing at Queenstown, so that's why I did this. Well, we know it's illegal. We're in the sim. That's what makes it fun. I'm going to turn the packs off, too. Get that power up there. We have to remember to turn them on. We'll get pressurization. And I think this airplane, I'll take a look at it, probably has a packs off option that you can put in there. I don't care who you are, right? Look at that scenery pack. This is for Paul M., my New Zealand subscriber. I promised him I'd do this yesterday, Sunday, but I got tied up in a bat sim event, New York to Boston. That's one short runway, guys. Could be the world's shortest stream, right? Parking brakes are set. I want to come back in here and check something on the box. I just want to see if takeoff reference, if the next page, if there's a packs off option on this airplane. Index, thrust limit, TO, max, taper, takeoff. I don't know if they have packs off. Press takeoff, that rough speed's on. No, it doesn't have it. But there's no saying that we can't go up and do it ourselves, right? Get a little more thrust out of those bad boys. We're gonna go packs off. Come back inside. What could go wrong, baby? Let's get our power up. Why do we have a caution here? Oh, pack left and right. Yeah, we know. I'm going to go toga. And here we go. Come on, big mama. I know you want this. World's shortest stream or the coolest takeoff we've done. So remember, 2,000 feet. We're going to do unstick. Unstick speed's probably down around 125. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Pause brake gear up, please. Right, Bob? I'm going to the autopilot on. The reason is I'm going to go down to the box. I'm going to go legs. Upload, execute. Nope, not gonna do that one. Let's go Msfs, and now we're gonna go up here and go LNAV. That's a funky view. Why would you do that when you have this set, right? All right, there's 1,500 power reduction. We're past flaps 20, so flaps 15. Right there. Flaps has 5, so flaps 5. You can go flaps 1, actually. And here we go. Go flaps up, please, because we're approaching flaps 1. Flaps coming up. How cool is that? Now we better get the packs back on, right? Because we know Bob ain't gonna do it. Bobby's not gonna do it. Right, let's go back in here. Let's get serious. Put the HUD away. Come in here. All right, we're L-naving it, V-naving it. We're climbing out, get the packs back on. Everything's nice. How about after takeoff climb check, Bobby? It's complete. And there you have it. We got out of Wellington. And we are taking off out of North Island, the capital of New Zealand, on our way to Queenstown. We'll check the weather out here in a little while. Let's take a look at how long, what is our ETA? It's 21:55, so a little under 1 hour. So you know what? Let's just keep it running. Keep it running. Bob, your aircraft, I'm going to brief up everything. All right? Bob, it's your aircraft. All right, so anyway, let's go back to Navigraph. He's flying. I'm not even looking out there. So here we go. Gonna go flight. We're going into Queenstown. I just say Wellington. We'll pre-select this one. We'll pin it. I think it's already pinned. Well, this is Queenstown. We're gonna land on 5. Can't use this taxiway, so we're gonna have to do a 180. It's a 148-foot wide runway with for takeoff 6,000 feet. Distance, it's 148 feet. So, to turn around, I think we need 170 or so on these big airplanes. We'll get it done using differential brakes. Again, illegal operation. That's not what we're concerned about. Let's take a look at the approach. The star, rather. LRUV. That's pinned. LRUV arrival. That's very important that we check this against our box. So we're going to do that. Get this in the correct position. Legs. Get up to LRUV. LRUV. Here we go. You ready? I know you are. LRUV, nothing. No crossing restriction. ECVOX. There's nothing. This is holding. That's a holding airspeed. Can you guys see that? Yeah, Kaslu, 17 and 16 at or above. Magba, at or above 13. At or above 13. Move this over a little. Gaspa at or above 12. Next page. And we've got the arrival of Babu. Look at this. Between 12 and 10. Now, I want to be down at 10. What this does is it levels at 12. It actually wants to be up around 13.8. So I'm going to put that in just so you see it. I want to be at 220 at Babu and between 12 and 10. So I come over here. 220. That's the airspeed. Between 12,000 or below. And that's the how you put it in, is it, guys? You knew that. 120 below, yep. And then maybe they want 12,000. Or below 10,000 and above. There it is, between 12 and 10, 220. Now for the arrival itself, if we look in here, really important to check this, guys. I can't stress that enough. I'm going to go approach. I'm going to do the ILS Zulu. Here it comes. Ababu. Ababu, Ababu. Got that one in. QN 577 at 10,000. SARTA at 9,200. That's SARTA. Just trust me. Tepig at 82. There's Tepig at 82. Panto at 71. 71. And 63 at Dubug. And Mopka at 53. Amogu. This is important. 31. Because that Amogu, that is our FAF. Once we pass our FAF, or at least 3,000 people on missed approach altitude, which is 10,000. So we will be. We need to get 10,000 in the window, or it will level off at our MBA, our decision altitude, which on the RNAV is 2,300 feet, which we'll set in a minute. And it's going 31, and then it's going to do this maneuver and align itself with the runway, and we'll land. In the event of missed approach, You got to climb to, you guys can't see that. Climb to 10,000 via the RNAV AR missed approach, track to NVVOR, hold signal to 10. So that gets us out of there. All right. Then we'll have to come back. There is a circuit procedure. Look at this. Remain northeast of the line Sunshine Bay, but it's VFR. It's all VFR. So how can we do that, right? But you would go missed approach and remain northeast of the Sunshine Bay VOR, all around here, keep it over the water, and then come back around for figure 8. Well, if we're going missed approach, we're not going to be able to do that because we're going to be IMC. Runway, position 23, this. All right. That's it. So we're going to do the missed approach if we have to. RNAV 23, not that one. Hit that one. And let's put 2300 in the window while we're here. How you doing, Bob? Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? We should have. And I should have got the lights out too. Make a little PA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Captain Richard. Welcome aboard Air New Zealand Flight 603. I can't do it off Kiwi accent, guys. We are just passing through 27,000 feet. Our initial cruising altitude down to beautiful Queenstown will be 40,000 feet. We are estimating touchdown in under an hour. Queenstown weather, it's presently 11 degrees Celsius. Overcast skies, winds are out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. We'll turn the seatbelt sign back on in preparation for landing in approximately 30 minutes. So if you had a need to get out of your seat, this will be your last opportunity to do so. Thank you. Very short flight. All right, going out of 28 for 40. Bobby's flying all as well. This is a cool flight, guys. Thank you, Paul M. Very, very cool. And I should get the seatbelt sign off so they can run around back there, do their thing, right? And I chimed them out of 10. There you go. All right, now this missed approach. Here's the problem. How are we going to get back in if we end up going missed approach? Right? How are we going to get back in here? Approaches. We could try it one more time, but you see the minimums here are 2,300. We'll set that and then we'll talk about it. 2,300, the world's most difficult barrow knob to set. Not bad though, first time. That's 1,001, 1,002. Ah, it was close. 1,001, 1,002. Oh my God, I'm going to get it. That's about the best you're going to see me do this, guys. With the barrow knob. You bet you what I'm doing, right? Oh, no you don't. No you don't, little fella. Oh. Oh. So frustrating. And I can wind it down. One of my subs made a comment and told me, use the wheel, Captain Marvel, you fool. Which I said, don't call me fool or Captain Marvel. So I'm going to go brakes to, let's go to max auto. Probably 4 in the box. We'll recheck this as we go. But 148. Probably down a little slower than that, right? Now, gross weight. Let's see. It says 406, right? We're landing 25,000, 26,000. And our zero fuel weight is this. So that's going to be right about 400,000. Right about 400. Now, I have a question for you. Are we legal? Look at this. The problem is I don't have the dash 10. Let's use the dash 9. We're 1,000 feet, we're going to be at 400,000 pounds. 400,000 pounds dry, 5,900. That's why I was doing this weight. 5,960. So technically, we could land, naturally with increased braking action, since we have 6,000 foot runway, give or take, about 6,000 foot runway. So that's why I wanted to get down below 400, but I want to be right at max landing weight. The truth is we're about 1,000 feet, so you see that that's the field elevation is 1,100, so that's 63. This is 59,000. Yeah, you know, we're closer to 6,000. Anyway, wanted to do that. You see that if you approach rough plus 5, you gotta, if you're rough plus 10, you gotta add a bunch of numbers. 320 for not a tailwind, plus 90. Outside air temperature above 10, plus 160, no reverses, plus 10. Anyway, that's it. So we're not going in here without knowing our takeoff data. In fact, we do know it. All right. We'll start the descent check, because we're not going to be that long on the descent. We're going to go recall. Temperature finally straightened out back there. Recall, auto brakes are 4. Landing data we checked. Approach briefs complete. And one more thing I want to do. You guys maybe can help me. First, we'll take a look around, guys. Let's go outside and look around a little bit. Do our little drone action. I just love that paint job. All blacks. The all blacks. Badass rugby program. Oh, now I got to change the rating on my YouTube video. Because I said a poopy word. I'll blame Bob. Gonna go into the mountains over there, guys. That's where Queenstown is, heading towards the mountains. All right, so we did all that. Everything is kind of set up for the arrival. Talk about the HUD a little bit. Takeoff and landing, we use the HUD. I used to fly it on the 7.6. Well, I wanted to see where I was on the, 7.3 with American Airlines for a couple of years. We used it for takeoff and landing. There you go, here where I can see the top of descent. It is way up here. So we've got about 80 miles 10, about 35 minutes until we descend. 35 minutes. I'll talk about the HUD and then I'll put us on pause for a little while to shorten the video. How's that? All right. Talk about the HUD. You got the HUD. A lot of great information. Takeoff and landing. This is hypersensitive. It's really funny when you're the pilot monitoring and the pilot flying, you'll see him going all the way down. And you'll look, and those crossbars down here on the PFD, it's PFD, that's the ND, right? Primary flight display, nav display. This PFD is just locked solid. And what he's doing is chasing try to keep that little ball and find the big ball. That's how sensitive it is. But if you can do it, you are no more accurate approach than that. On takeoff, it's very difficult. I tend to watch the crossbars and cross-reference the pipper, keep the flight path vector inside the circle. Actual aircraft is the right here, the little one, and the big one is your flight path vector, where the airplane is going to go right now. Cool thing is when you're transitioning to land out of breaking out of the weather, if you've got a lot of wind, this is going to point, say you had a lot of right crosswind, that's going to point the big pipper with the wings, the gull wings, going to point right at the approach end. So if you're doing a RNAV approach where it brings you in at an angle, that pipper will always point to the end of the runway as you when you transition to land. So you can keep that. If you keep that on the end of the runway and keep the ball inside there, you know your aim point is correct. So it's very valuable like that. That was my most the best thing. Transitioning to land. If you follow this looking for flare, you'll see flare. If you follow this, it's going to flare you way too high. Today we need to really put it down the first 1,000 feet to get it stopped. Way too high. What else we got here? Yeah, where it is valuable though, you'll see the it counting down. So 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You'll get the audible too on that. But if you don't get it, this will be a good indication to get a numerical countdown. But you get your altitude, get your airspeed. You can see the autopilot's on. When the autopilot comes off, this little bar will disappear. I know what I didn't brief on the missed approach. Event of missed approach, it's going to be going around toga, which you press my toga button here, flaps 20. Then it's positive rate missed approach, set missed approach altitude. At 400 feet, you go either LNAV or heading select. In this case, we'll go LNAV. Let the airplane fly that missed approach out onto the mountains. Let's put the weather down. All right, so live weather's off. I'll put this down. This is 1,000 feet. Density clear. Overcast. Put it down around 1,000 feet because the MBA, the decision altitude on this thing, you know what that altitude was? That was in correcting the altimeter. Decision altitude is 1140, so we should not see the runway when we hit our DA. We should not see the runway. And there's no better approach to come in. That's the lowest one we have. The minimums. Yeah, that's the best we can do. Okay. See if the aircraft corrected itself once I change the weather. Yeah, it's correcting back up to 40. And let's preset the altimeter for because it went from standard day. You know how the pressure's really low right now in New Zealand? So when I went from I went to this, I did just change I think the standard pressure. So that's going to make the altimeter, I'm not really sure what. We'll see. Let me go in here for the weather. Weather's going to be inaccurate, guys. Weather. Only thing we can do is VATSIM, which I don't have. TAP report. VTAR. Queenstown. 030. It's favoring runway 5. Good visibility. Scattered at 6,000. Winds are later. It's supposed to swing around to the other runway. Right now, it's this is our big turn. Right now, it's favoring runway 5, which is good since that's what we want to do. MEDAR report. No MEDAR. So what's the altimeter? We probably have to go to our sim brief for that. Altimeter, Queenstown. There it is. Not really given an altimeter, is it? But you can see Queenstown, it was 1012 at, we took off out of Wellington. Alternate here. It's not given any altimeters. Oh, QNH 9999 here. That's for our alternate. Yeah, not giving it, so I'll have to maybe press B. Let's go though. We know it's low, right? Let's preset the altimeter. This is a simulator, right guys? It's a simulator. We'll just go the same as Wellington. All right, that's good. Yeah, it's low altimeter. All right, so we should be all set. All right, so how far to our descent? We've briefed the approach, we briefed the star, briefed the approach, briefed the missed approach, and we decided we may have to actually, I'd probably go back to Wellington if I had to come back, because that's, I mean, Wellington, better alternate than the other one, and I put enough fuel on board to do it. So I wanted to land as right at max landing weight and put the ceiling all down. That was my plan. Country New Zealand. So we took off out of the south tip of North Island. We're going to the middle of South Island in New Zealand. Go menu, airports, traffic, there's no weather, terrain, okay? That's actually our alternate right there. If you go to our, let's put that away. If you go to our alternate page, NZCH, I don't know what it is, we're gonna look it up. NZCH. NZCHIKO. Sorry to do this to you. Christchurch is the main airport that serves Christchurch, New Zealand. It's located 12 kilometers north to the northwest of the city center in the suburb of Harwood. Trailing Christchurch history, very cool. There's Christchurch Airport right there. We had to go in there. You know what? What's wrong with that? It's clearing a million. We have to go. We'll go up to NZCH for a divert into Christchurch. I don't want to though, because I have the airport I want to show you in Queenstown. I have the airport package. Christchurch. There it is. I know, for those of you from New Zealand, you're going to love this. What's not to love? I'm loving it, but I'm not from New Zealand, but we're definitely honoring your country here. Thank you, Paul M., for this unbelievable tour to your beautiful country, and a great idea to fly from Wellington. Wellington, of course, a big thing with Paul was that it's very windy. Today it wasn't. We did do a kind of a fancy takeoff though, didn't we? Illegally. Bob, you're doing a heck of a job here, brother. And I mean that. I'm not just, sucking up to you. It's always the same expression with Bob. If you haven't flown with me, Bob's on every single one of my flights. We're friends. I talk a lot of doo-doo about Bob, and it's not very nice. I know that. I really shouldn't do. I should be a grown-up and not do that. But I do. And I apologize for that, Bob. I do. You're a nice blow-up doll, and there's really nothing that you've ever done wrong. You've been nothing but a supportive blow-up doll. All right. Here we go. So how far to descend? Let's see. I'm going to pop this out a little bit. Normally, you can go in here. VNAV. Fuel is supposed to land with 26.1. We know that. Next page. Speed restriction. Oh, by the way, RNAV. We have to also put in, I forgot about that, 125 here. What that does is make an approach. You're going to get an amber, I'll show you that in a minute. And the RNP here is 0.3 on this approach, which we didn't brief. RNP is 0.3, RNAV RNP, and the glide slope is 3.2 degrees right there, 3.2. And we go to the box. Next page. 3.2. You have to see the missed approach point is all the way at the end of the runway, which is what you have to brief to. But if you take a look at the PFD, down here is going to be an RNAV and RMP once we start the descent. Oh, you know what? The reason that VNAV 40,000, I never pushed this button when I did this. I should have changed the 40 automatically, but it didn't. The reason I knew that, guys, this is an alt instead of Prague. Because you've got to get that into Prague, path rather, this airplane path, so that it will do its descent. There's a top of descent. 80 miles, we're doing 0.8 Mach, so that's basically a mile a minute. So 80 miles would be about 10 minutes. It's a little past that. It's about 12 minutes we'll start our descent. So New Zealand approach comes on and tells us you are clear to descend via the, which they don't really ever say, the Air Rule 2 Alpha for the ILS runway 5. And you are cleared the RNAV runway 5. So we're cleared all the way down. So if we just cleared, remember, Ababu, the bottom is 10. So technically, we'd have to just put in 10,000 here, because that's all he cleared us for, right? But if he subsequently clears us all the way down to 2,300, which he just did, if he clears us for the ILS, we can put the minimums in, even way out here. So I'm going to get this down around 2, move this over, 2,300. This thing will continue all the way down to DA, because nobody else is here, so Air New Zealand Flight 603 is cleared for the L Rule 2 Alpha to runway 5, and you also cleared the RNAV Zulu to runway 5. And so I can put the mins all in. Now because we're in Prague, path rather, it'll descend down. It knows exactly where we are. We don't have our required nav versus our actual. That'll come up as we start our path and we hit our top of descent. I think that's about it. Let's get this in a little bit of a tour here. Coming into the mountains. Man, I would like to visit this country. Want to visit the cockpit? Maybe I'll use that as my, that picture right there as my advertisement for this flight. That's awful pretty. Nice looking crew. A couple of Kiwis in there. Looking good, guys. Cabin, not so much. I love this stuff. Yeah, I'm a 65-year-old guy. You young guys, you're used to all this stuff. I'm like your dad or your granddad's age, you know. I'm digging all this. I could use all the help you can give me on the technical stuff, but what I really could use is your subscription. I'm trying to build a community, and that'll really help. I'm trying to build subscribership, so that'll help a lot. So if I don't do anything, what's this airplane going to do? I'm glad you asked. At the top of descent, it's going to fly and maintain the path all the way down through the mountains to 2,300 feet. Hey, let's check that. So we set the bottoms down around 1,000. What do you think is going to happen? So how about the top? 8,200. We're going to enter the soup. All right, let's do that. We'll enter the soup down around 6. We'll say that's kind of valley fog. Density 6,000, altitude top, 6,000 altitude bottom 1,000. So we're going to go in between 6 and 1,000. Coverage, 100%, density scattered, altitude top. So what I'm thinking, guys, is that let's do this. Overcast, right? Overcast. That sounds better. Thank you for saying that. Use my little spin wheel. Out to top, we have lunch of the clouds around 10,000. Density, overcast, scattered, looks good. All right, let's try that. All right. Now, if I wanted to start down early, I could push. If you're within 40 miles of the top of descent, within 40 miles, right now we're like 60. If you were within 40 and you push this button right here, the altitude intervene, it'll do about 1,000 feet per minute, and it will say, oh, he's on the descent, he wants a smooth entry. But if you do it outside of 40, like right now, it'll actually say, oh, he wants to go down to 2,300 as cruise altitude. It'll do a cruise descent, idle power. So you don't want to do that. You could, if you wanted now to go down, you go vertical speed, start it down nice and smooth, and whenever the path came down here, you saw it, you could hit VNAV. Very, very cool. Yeah, love this stuff. Better get on the lights on the overhead, since it's so overcast. Make sure everything's in bright. I'd hate to get in that weather and have it be real dark, not be able to see anything. Just to turn all these up. Truth is, if you're on that little dot, see the little dots right there? And you turn the master up, they're going up anyway. But if you run individually to bring them up, you just turn that switch. That's it. That was funny when I didn't know we were going to be illegal for takeoff. It's funny when it came up that we were in fact illegal. All right. The world of Simland. Now, what could we have done? In real life, to be legal, we could have done improved performance, flaps 20, max power, packs off. Could have done that, which we did anyway, to get our max performance. But we would have had to call for new numbers, but it wasn't going to let us. We're way over because of the engine out capability. So it would have been way below the engine out. And you see two engines, it was no problem. But we would have had to go and get new numbers, maybe offload cargo, offload passengers. We did have 314 passengers, 20,000 pounds of cargo. We could have gotten ourselves down to 400,000, but we would have had to drop off, let me see here. Yeah, we would have had to drop off 12,000 pounds. So we could have done it, but we're in the simulator. What fun is that, right? None, not at all. All right, we're about to get our descent started. Into my taxi view. Wishful thinking, right? Hoping at some point we get the taxi in the terminal. Might be Christchurch instead of Queenstown. Hope not. Weather's getting lousy down here, huh? What a beautiful airplane. There's a white version as well. You can change the colors on this to white on black instead of black on white. But because of that rugby team, the All Blacks, I just had to do it in black. I just had to. Just gorgeous. Now it's kind of cool that after 36 years of flying for the airlines, 46 years of flying total between the Air Force, the airlines, and Air Force Academy, I still get excited about airplanes. I'm more excited about airplanes now than I was before I retired 4 or 5 weeks ago. By the way, if you subscribe and go to my channel, there's a couple of retirement. One is copyrighted because I got in trouble for using a couple of songs. The other one's non-copyrighted, so I could do a little more with it. But it's just my last trip to Paris with my wife, the flight attendants, and the cockpit crew that I chose. What a wonderful time! I think you'll enjoy it. Gives you a little bit of glimpse into the airline life. It doesn't give you the greatest glimpse into the airline layover because just make sure Bob's doing his job. Looks like we're starting down here in about 3 or 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. We don't always go out. There are 9 flight attendants, 3 pilots, plus my wife, plus one of the flight attendants brought his husband. So we had 14 people. You don't always get that many. You don't. You also don't always get, you invite them to, you go in, I didn't pick the flight attendants. Should have, I had a lot of friends. A couple of them were my friends who said, I didn't want that kind of a pressure on them to move their schedule for me. But a lot of them will say no, but they all said yes. And probably because my wife's so sweet. And we had a wonderful time, wonderful time. Had a nice dinner, very French dinner at a French restaurant. We had our French speakers from the airline, which is a benefit I hadn't thought about. One guy actually lived, the one who brought his husband, actually lived in Paris. But another woman who spoke 5 languages, they were able to coordinate everything. The wine, the dinners, the speakers, just so relaxing. And then we had reservations at the top of the Hilton Hotel to overlook the Eiffel Tower and for champagne toast. At that point, my wife and I and the other pilots went to bed. Flight attendants went up there, finished the 16 bottles of champagne. We're not allowed to drink, but they did, and they came back. Everyone had a wonderful time. We were met at the airplane by the chief pilots in New York, who were friends of mine. They said a little something to passengers before they let them off, and my wife and I stood at the door and said goodbye to all the passengers. Got our picture taken with the crew. They cut my tie, symbolic of retirement, and that was the end. That was the end. I walked out of the terminal, got on the bus. You'll see the pictures of the retirement video. Went home. Then all 6 of my kids and my grandkids and my kids' spouses flew in for a 3-night, what amounted to a party for them. While my wife and I watched the kids. They played badminton and did a bunch of things, and they had a blast. All right, there goes the path, and there goes, we're on it. And we tell her in New Zealand we're out of the descent on the arrival. And you can see that it started down a little late, but it's catching up nicely. I'll show you that. This is the reason it's in amber is I put in the 125. It should be 40. At this far out, the airplane is trying to maintain that kind of accuracy. By the way, our RNP on this approach is 0.3, so we don't have to put anything in the box. But if your RNP is below 0.3, you actually have to go to prog page 4 and put in whatever it is. Let's say it was 0.11. Put in 0.11 in here. I'm not going to do it because it's way too accurate. And you would actually have, before you took off the autopilot, you'd have to have the runway in sight. That's the rules. And you also have to get a release from dispatch. These satellites are on loan from the military. So the military can turn them down at any time they want for operations. So you have to make sure that the reliability of the satellites for the period of your usage is highly accurate enough to do an RNP below 0.3. But if it's 0.3 or above, you can just fly it without contacting and getting satellite verification from dispatch. the way you would get the verification, you can go a free text message to them, or sometimes they even put it on the flight plan. If I'm doing an actual RNP below 0.3, I call them on the phone, sat phone, and I want to hear it, that the satellites are going to be good, or I free text message them. It's really important, guys. Let me do this. This. Well, I said 400 is going to be our weight, and it should be. You can see right now we're a little below. It's correcting up here. It's got plenty of room to do it. Otherwise, it'll give you a message that it needs help. So we're letting it fly its way in. Once again, I would have put 10,000 in on the mode control panel if we were just cleared for the Air Rule 2 Alpha, because 10,000 is the bottom altitude. But because we cleared the L Rule 2 Alpha to the RNAV, we cleared for that too, I can put the minimums for the RNAV in of 2,300. It's going to make it all the way around, get us aligned to 2,300, and it'll actually fly us all the way down to the runway. However, if inside of 3,100, if you remember, a mumbo, if I don't put in 10,000 at 2,300, it's going to level off. So it's really important that once you pass a mumbo, so it's no longer magenta, it's white, and you're at least 300 feet below the misapproach altitude, which of course we will be, because that's 10,000. You got to put in the misapproach altitude, which is 10,000. Otherwise, it's going to level at 23, and we're required that if we don't have the runway in sight, if it starts to level off, we have to go around. Interesting missed approach here. Yeah, so a VFR missed approach, there's a figure 8 that you fly, maintaining visual, come back around and land. But on an actual IFR missed approach, you got to go up to 10,000, fly over to Singu and hold. We'll do that, then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Maybe the weather will lift a little bit. We got enough fuel to try it a couple of times, or maybe we have to go right over to Christchurch if the weather's getting worse and worse. Funny thing is, this is accurate because the weather is supposed to get lousy, if you remember, as we get from Queenstown. Here it is. It's supposed to, actually not bad here. Let's see, B-car, Taft. Becoming, it's supposed to go to the west. I thought I saw rain showers on the forecast. Oh, that's when I looked at the flight plan. I saw the rain showers. All right, enough yapping, father time. All right, let's get this on charts. And I'm going to be optimistic. RNAV. And that's it. There it is. Get that ready to go with the approach. And let's go outside. Entering the weather. I'm going to go to the overhead. I'm going to set the flight attendants down early, turn the seatbelts on. It's Captain Richard. We'll start our descent into Queenstown. We should be landing here in the next 25 minutes. I'd like the flight attendants to buck up the cabin early, as there are some rain showers in the vicinity of Queenstown. There are some rain showers in the vicinity of Queenstown. The weather is calm winds, a little bit out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Low ceilings down around 1,000 feet. And the temperature presently is 11 degrees Celsius. It's been our pleasure serving you. Once again, flight attendants prepare for landing. I'm going to get them prepared early, and I'm going to sterilize the cabin chime. And let's look at the descent check. I'm pretty sure Bob got that done. He did. And altimeters. Oh, you know what? I never set that. I never told you about the altimeters. You take a look here. Darn it, I should have said that. On climb out, it's 13 climbing out, 15 descending. How do I know that? Think of A. The A points upward, climb, transition altitude. Altitude's on the climb out. Transition level in New Zealand is always 15. America's always 18. Europe is by the 8. It's usually down around 6 or 7. Some are as low as 3. But what you got to do, the box always knows and it sets it. But here, transition level, we've got to set it. So if you go to descent, in the sim I mean, descent, forecast, and then you'll get the airplane will know, give you a heads up as you go. All right, there we go. Set. Prague. Oh, it's 42. We're landing in about 17 minutes. get this range down a lot, right? All right, it's on the arrival at above 13. Now, guys, it's up to you. See how it's struggling here to get down a little bit? It's slowing down. I'm going to put some speed brakes out and help it get down. Now, my speed, I haven't written down because I can't read the placard. It's too small. 260 knots and below 20,000, which we are, we can set the flaps to 1. The idea here, and I mentioned it on my last video coming into Queenstown, is to get slow. Make it a nice smooth thing. I'm going to go speed intervene, and I'm going to do this whole thing at 250 knots. I'm going to get slow, and below 20, when I get down below 260, I'll be able to, you see now it's on path. I'll be able to go to flaps 1. It's up to you, but it definitely, matter of fact, I'm going to go all the way to 240. Give myself a little margin on that flaps 1 speed. 260 is the max speed. We're below 260. Flaps 1. Speed brakes are retracted. FMC message. Altimeters below 15. Coming up below 15, right? Getting ready. All right, there it is. Altimeters checked. Checklist incomplete. Altimeters are set. Now we're down to gear brake flaps. So we shouldn't need any speed brakes. I'll try to get those armed. Always interesting here. See if it goes. It's armed. We'll see if it stays armed. So we got flaps, auto brakes 4, speed brakes are armed. Got an approach speed. Double check that one last time. 147 went down a knot, so 152 will be our dirty speed as we make our approach. And right now, Ababu between 12 and 10. This is a little bit too bright, isn't it? There it is, between 12 and 10 and 220. And how far to Ababu? 9 miles. So we're going to keep slowing it on down. Put in 220 here. And I can go flaps 5 speed is 250. We're at 240, so I'm going to go flaps 5 right here. And what I'm checking here is path. I'm in path. It's right on path and right on path. And see it's green now. Looking good. Let it fly it on in. Be with the approach control. They'll send us over to tower somewhere in here. Yeah, so this final approach, if you remember, kind of interesting. You're going to hit 3100. We'll get it all set. Somewhere in here, we're going to hit our decision altitude, and autopilot would, well, we let it fly it around. We'll have to have missed approach altitude set in so it keeps descending. But if we don't see the runway at 2,300 feet, it's going to be going around Toga, flaps 20, positive rate gear up, set missed approach altitude, and at 400 feet get into LNAV and let it fly the LNAV missed approach, because we're not on a VFR, so we can't do that figure 8, which is the figure 8 approach. Woo! A lot of stuff to think about. But we're right on the path. But you have to keep going to the box and checking. Knock yourself out. You can if you want. But once we've double checked it, and we see it here, see the data on here? As a matter of fact, plan, data, it sets all the altitudes right in front of you. I should have had that. It's much better. I don't bother. I just use this because I've already checked that. But you're watching this bar, that bar, and the speeds, making sure it's complying with everything. The truth is we don't have any more speeds due, though I'll be fully configured by the time I get to the FAF, which of course is Amumbu at 3,100 feet with flaps 30, and our approach speed, I think it's going to be 152. That's my plan. 152. If you're not doing something, you're forgetting something, right, guys? Anybody who's in aviation, whether you're a simmer. Now it's leveling at 12 here, guys, because Ababu is 12 to 10, right? You see that 12 to 10 in Ababu, and it doesn't. It thinks it would rather be at 13.5, so it's going to level off here, and it'll pick up the VNAV path in just a minute. Because it's thought it was going to be at 13.5. So now that it just said, okay, fine, buddy, you want to get down early? There you go, Ababu at 12. You happy? But now we're going to wait for the path to come down, and then we're going to reestablish ourselves on the descent. Really nice. So this is a, if you have premium, I believe, there it goes. And see, it's come back in the path, saying, okay, now I'm good. I'll start my descent down to 2300, and it's doing it. Now, how far do we have to go? I don't want to get caught behind here. We have 30 miles, so we're doing good, and we're 210 knots, 220 knots. I don't know what that beeping is, guys. If someone knows, let me know. I haven't been able to figure it out. I'm going to bring the speed back just a touch more. Turned off my dentist phone call. I hope, don't tell him I did that, okay? And now it's our next flaps, 215, so it's down to 200. I know it seems excessive, but you do not want to be fast. 215, so we can go all the way to flaps 15 if we want. Flaps 15. Speed brakes are on, auto brakes at 4, looking good. Making our approach in here. Into the mountains. Mountains all below us here. Right here, we're over the mountains. Look at that. How cool is this flight sim stuff, guys? I gotta tell you, if you can fly the flight sim and do what I'm doing, in other words, really pay attention, and really, we already did the descent check, but we do it again. The get the lights on out of 10, right? The problem with flight simming is sometimes you can get sloppy, right? They're sterilized. That means from below 10. You got to work harder. You got to work to be exactly correct at all times. It's really the only way to go. I don't want to be preachy and everything, but you really need to step up your game and try to fly the airplanes like they're supposed to be flown. Yeah, you can fly it for fun, do things, absolutely, and that's the coolest thing. But if you really want to know the intricacies of an airplane, you got to come and try to do everything just like you need to, like it's supposed to be done. So that's why I think what guys wanted to do the RNAV RNP with me. Those are the guys really trying to learn how to fly these approaches. All right, let me get the range down a little bit. I admire the heck out of you guys. I honestly do. I know you probably admire me for having a lot of hours, but I am a novice in this simulator stuff, and it's only because of my subscribers on Discord and here that I'm able to do it. Let me get the heading around. That's a big no-no, not keeping your heading bugs slewed around. Honestly is. And I'm going to put it in runway heading as we turn final here. Just so that if, for whatever reason, they gave us a heading, I don't think they will in the mountains, our heading doesn't turn us the wrong way, which could kill you. All right, right on the nav. Next part's Q495. Big one we want to know is that a Mumbo, right? 31. Doing 200, flaps 15. Got plenty of drag. Staying right in the bars. That's your upper limit. That's your lower. Plus minus 75 feet. Required navigational clearings RNP. We put in 125. Actual is 50. So we're doing really well on our accuracy. How far do we have to go from the field? 15 miles. 15 miles. There's your terrain, guys, all around us. Look outside a little bit. Nada. All right, it's 12 miles. Let's get slowed down and configured. We'll gear down. I know it's early. Flaps 20. And flaps 20 was 210. We're well below that. We said 152 is going to be our speed when we get there. We can go to flaps 25 when the gear is down and we're below 180. Here we go, flaps 25, please. And when we're below 170, we can go to flaps 30. 170, flaps 30, before landing checklist, please. Bob comes down here. He'll say, before landing checklist complete, you're clear to land. We're clear to land. All right, there's a mumbo. What are you thinking? What's the big thing, right? Right up here, here's your hand. I've got to get this ready and go to 10,000 feet after we pass a mumbo. So when the mumbo is no longer magenta, when it turns white, we have to be at least, we'll cross-check our altitude, which should be 3,100. We'll call tower. We'll get a 10,000 set when we're 300 feet below a mumbo and more than 300, past the mumbo, more than 300 feet below our missed approach altitude, which is 10. So, you know, don't have to worry about that. Here we come. If I were to set 10,000 now, the airplane would climb. It only does it inside the FAF. So we're all excited in the mountains. Kind of looks like not bad out there. Might see the runway. We might. All right, now the airplane, remember, it's going to come up and realign ourselves. It's 3,100, mumbo turned white. We go to the flight guidance panel and we set in 10,000. Now the airplane will continue descending. Now 10,000 is in the window. We're back in here, watching everything. Ceiling's too low to do a VFR. If they send us missed, we're going to have to do the published missed approach. Airplane's going to come up here. It's going to say minimums in a second, but it's going to continue because we have 10,000 set. There it goes. No, I had set that ceiling down around 1,000, but I guess not, huh? It's going to align itself. Goes. Remember, field elevation's around 1,100 feet. Look at this beautiful airplane. Stable. And New Zealand 603. Go around, execute, publish, missed approach. Execute and publish this approach, New Zealand 203. Going around. Flaps 20. Toga. Positive rate. Gear up. Set missed approach altitude. It's set. Now we're watching it. Will it do it? We're going to clean it up. We'll clean it up at around 1,000 AFL. Going in. There it goes. Cell navin. See how it does? There's the misapproach point. It's climbing, going to 10,000. Let's watch it in the mountains here. All right, we're above 1,500 feet. I think we can start bringing a little flaps up. We want to make sure that the speed is good, guys. Set speed. We'll just do 210. Flaps 15. Flaps 5. It's 10 rather. Looks like we'll leave it at flaps 5 when we get there. Look at it flying it back up into the weather. There's mountains here, because we have terrain selected. I'm leaving it at flaps 10 because we're below the flaps 10 speed. LNAV and VNAV in it. If you down the box, what is it trying to do? It's at QN 556, it needs to be above 6. So that's what it's doing right now. QN 556 is trying to get above 6. Now that it's above 6, it's accelerating. Let's get the heading slewed around. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Captain Richard. I apologize. We were on short final preparing to land at Queenstown, and there was an aircraft on the runway, and they having us execute a missed approach. So we're going to come back around and land on runway 5 at Queenstown. Why is it leveling at 9, guys? Because Tunry out of below 9. That's why it's doing it. So after Tunry, which is kind of far out there, it'll climb from 9 to 10. There it is, doing a nice job, right? You can go to flaps 5 because we're above flaps 5 speed. Just doing 210 knots. How are we gonna get from here back in? Start thinking about it. Bob, your aircraft. Roger, my aircraft. Come on, Bob. We're at 10. Everything here is at 10. Really, at 10, we're good to go. SARTA at 10. They would probably just vector us on out over these mountains and bring us in somewhere out here. So the mountains in this area are at, we're going to say they're going to radar vector us in. See how it's executing the missed approach? All right. And New Zealand Air, climb maintain 10,000, sir. Climb maintain 10,000, New Zealand Air 603. All right, guys, let's get the box set back up for another approach. Approaches arrivals. Runway 5, Zulu, runway 5. Ababu, execute, right? Now, let's take a look at the bugs. We're at 10,000. It says QN 565 at 6,300. QN 565 at 6,300. Right now it's going to Tunry. Let's take a look at the approach. Oh man. How about if we go SARTA at 92, 6,500, that's Dubeg. So let's go there. Let's go in here. We're at 10,000, right? We're gonna go here, here, execute LNAV. We're at or above 10. We'll start the approach at that point. It's gonna be kind of a funky arrival, so I'm gonna have to maneuver probably at 10,000. To get back in here and join the arrival. Now we could do radar vectors on the final. Yeah, American. Why don't we do that? But, yeah, you know, we better let the airplane fly it, right? So there it is. We're going direct to QN 555. We're in LNAV. We're going to keep the speed at 210. So if there was no tower, this is probably how we'd handle it, guys. We know that we're good on the min sector. Didn't want to do that. Let me get the heading around here. Just so it's over. It's funny. It's not letting me do it. There we go. There we go. All right, we're LNAV, altitude. If I come in here on the box, just a technique, VNAV. Hope it doesn't lock up on me. It's starting to do some funky things here. Let's put in 10,000. Right? We're at 10. Altimeters are set. And Bob, let's go back to normal checklist. Normal checklist. Descent checklist. Checklist reset. Let's get back set up here. Now we back in prog is what we want to make sure. Alt. We're going to go VNAV. Speed intervene. 210. We got path and set in there. Now we can set 2300 again in the window. And we are cleared on the approach. So what is it going to do? It's going to get over QN 75 and do just what we did. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we got Paul M. It's for you, buddy. Did all that. Now, yeah, you could go faster, guys. Definitely. By the way, our fuel, we got plenty of fuel to do this. 22.2, we have enough fuel to head really all the way up to Auckland if we want to. Definitely Christchurch, which is our filed alternate, or definitely back to Wellington, wherever the company wanted us to go. 39 miles to go, 210 knots coming back in. And you're going to do the whole checklist over again. So we're going to go recall. This is how we do it. Cancel. Nothing's in there. Auto brakes 4. Seatbelt signs are on. That looks good. Recall. Auto brakes are 4. Landing data, we did that right at 6,000. What is our landing weight? Below 4, so we're just right there. We all know about that. 147 to 152. Approach briefing. We did not go around for weather. We went around for traffic on the runway. Now, would they have had us do the VFR Circle 8, this one, right? Would they have had us do that? Problem is, you can't do that, really. Circuit procedure all the way to VFR created, day use only, okay, that's fine. You really have to be able to see the ground. I probably enter the figure 8 pattern shown. If above 4,000, descend and maintain circuit 4,000. It's a VFR approach. Would I have had it at 4,000? I don't think so. So I think we're committed to the IFR approach. Some more notes on the VFR. So I don't think we had any choice. That's why he didn't clear us for the circuit. He cleared us. Here we are, making our way over to QN 57. See that it's 11,400 foot peaks somewhere, right? Hopefully it's not there. That doesn't inspire confidence, does it? So we're going to come over here. It's going to intercept the arc, and it's going to fly all around. And we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to land. Then we're going to tour the Queenstown Tower, right? Now, I flew this the other day, and if I had to critique myself on my transition to land, I wasn't aggressive enough about getting lined up on final. So I kind of came in, I overshot a little bit. One of the guys said, hey, would that have been better if you were, yes, if a smaller airplane like an A320 or 73, yes, they turn a little bit faster, but really it's all pilot error. You can do that in an A320 or 73 as well. very easily. That was just sloppy final approach. And the reason was the bar in the sim is in the way. Really couldn't see the runway. This time I let the airplane fly and try to get us aligned before I take it off. I took it off at 2,300 feet and did a hand-flown arrival. And because I forgot to set 10,000 in the window, so it gave me a decision height, started to level off, I clicked off the autopilot and flew it around and landed. I'm going to let this fly and align us on final. When will it start the descent? That's as honest a critique as I can give to myself. If you look down here, 73 at or above 92, so hopefully we'll do it. I double check Prague 4, make sure we have 125 still set in there to get accurate guidance on final, and it is. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's a lot. Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please. And now I'm going to come to the overhead, and I'm going to chime them one more time. I would have called back to the flight attendants and said, "You guys, how you doing back there? Yeah, listen, we'll be fine. The weather's fine. They just sent us around for traffic on the runway." It's because you got a back taxi. Here we go, Rata 10, and we got VNAV path, and we got the RNAV AMP. Yes, absolutely. There's a problem here because we'll see with us. We're going to have to stop and then using brakes just to turn around the aircraft. So it's it can be sporting, and you can definitely have somebody on the runway for too long. There it is. So we're going to land on 5. We're going to get over here. We're going to have to do a turn. We're not going to make. If we make this turn pad, we'll use it. It's supposed to. But if we don't make the turn pad, we'll probably turn down here and taxi in, probably Alpha 3. Park somewhere in here. Call it a day. Long video, guys, but this is a cool video for you serious sim aviators, as myself. I got the heading, bring that all the way around, right? You always want to have the heading bug in the ballpark. Well, the reason I say that, guys, is because if you don't, and an ATC gives you a vector, sometimes if you haven't been keeping up with your heading and you hit heading select, it'll turn the wrong way. Might be mountains there, traffic, so you definitely want to have it all the way. I'm going to go, I don't know what that beeping is. And runway 5, I'll just do that, that's fine. It's on the path, descending nicely. I'm just getting this set up for runway 5, guys. And we know the same thing. I'm going to start slowing on down. We are... Oh, okay. We are 18 miles out. So let's get slowed and a little bit dirtier. You can go flaps 15s, 215s, and flaps. You can go all the way to 15. And I'll put in 180. Flaps 20 below 210. There we go. Flaps 20. Flaps 20. See if I can get the spoilers armed. Always interesting. Yes, spoilers are armed, slow into 180. And if you remember, what's the big one? 3,100 feet at the FAF. Once we pass it, make sure we get 10,000 in the window. It's doing a nice job here. And that's a mumbo. A mumble. That's probably a Kiwi type word. I don't know. Boy, I hope Kiwi's not offensive. I don't think it is. Heck of a rugby players. Rugby country. I think that, yeah, the All Blacks. There's a mumbo, guys. So I'm going to get the gear down. Speed coming all the way back to 152. Once I get flaps 20, can't quite go there yet. I'm a little hot. If my gear's down, flaps 25 or below 180, below 170, flaps 30 before landing checklist, please. And Bob goes. Whirling descent checks complete. And altimeter set. We're all good. Shut down checklist. Coming down nicely to a Mumbo on the glide path. Hopefully it works out this time. Let's get right down to speed. We'll double check. I think it's 152. Ah, it's down to 151. Every knot counts on this bad boy, doesn't it? All right, so we got 4 in the auto brakes, flaps 30, spoilers are armed, and what could go wrong? Same approach, see how it goes. Yeah, 4,000 feet AFL, we definitely could not have done that circuit, so we were committed to the published missed approach. Now our big thing here, we got 3 miles to Mumbo. Once we go past the Mumbo, we're gonna get 10,000 in the window, right? Mumbo at 2.5. Everything's looking good. We've got right on the VNAV path. Right here, RNP and AP are looking real fine. I'm gonna get ready over here because it's always a challenge to find this one, right? Looking for Mumbo. We're gonna get once Mumbo turns white, it means it's no longer the active waypoint, and we're 300 feet below the missed approach altitude, which we will be, because that's 10,000.
2,500.
We can put in 10,000 up there. Watching the RNP, ANP, comes a Mumbo. All right, Mumbo's no longer. That's set. 10,000 is set. What could go wrong? Oh, there we are. Looking good. Let's get a nice runway. And obviously, we do not want to float this bad boy. I'm going to let the airplane fly it in, guys. And I'll take it off on short final. See the HUD? Little circles inside the big circles. So it's going to do this little maneuver around here. And I'm sure the Air New Zealand pilots that fly this route on their Airbuses would start aligning themselves somewhere in here rather than doing this little Yahoo maneuver, but I don't know. They might not. And let me start recording my landing up here too. Maybe I'll remember to do that. Minimums, but we have it set. Miss Sproatswood's still flying it down in nicely. Now see right here, if you try to maneuver, this bar is in the way. Kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna that's what I did last time, and I got myself kind of sloppy. I'm gonna let the airplane maneuver. Getting the autopilot ready to disconnect. See the stable. It's aligning nicely, guys. Autopilot's off. I'm gonna take over and get down on the VASIs here. I don't like how high I am. Get on the center line. Get on the VASIs. Sync rate's a little high.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
I know it's hard, but you know, you got to get this thing down. 6,000 feet of runway. Let's get some reversers in. Reversers are in. Here's 80 knots. 60. Coming out of reverse. All right, well, firm landing, but honestly, guys, that was great. That's great. A little firm. We're illegal to land here anyway, right? So we're going to turn down. We'll go all the way down at the end and turn around. Put the HUD up. Pops up after landing. I'm going to leave the lights on while we're on the runway in case anyone lands on final. And we're going to try to do a little turn The technique is to get your gear all the way near the end here into the runway. It does have a turnaround pad at the end, but it's no wider, so only way we're going to do this is differential braking. Yeah, a little firm on the landing, but that's not the point, is it? We got bigger problems since we just landed a 787. Technically, pretty close to overweight in Queenstown. Let's go see this nice terminal, guys. Yeah, we keep the lights on while we're on the runway, guys. Especially now, look at this, some little VFR traffic, not talking to tower, comes in. You don't want any doubt. You're a pretty lit up target here. Let's go to the overhead, get the APU started. I'll expedite on the runway for these guys. We are. That taxiway over here is not adequate, guys. Naturally, that's a little faster than that should be taxiing. I'm gonna go in here. Lordy, lordy. Once I clear the runway, flaps up, we already did. Just got to get some of these lights off so I don't blind everyone, even the taxi lights coming off as we make our way into the gate. All right, back inside. And let's go. Looks like off to the left somewhere we can park. Maybe over in here. We're going to fly around Queenstown Airport when we're done. I didn't know if I did that last time. Look at this gorgeous airplane. Must be kind of refreshing to see an old guy still excited by aviation for you young guys just getting into it. Look at this arrival. Fantastic. Thank you, Paul M., for suggesting this little flight. It was an honor to do it for you. Looks like there's plenty of room in here. Right in this gate. Put this big bird in there, who has no business being here. I don't know about this little airplane. I should have gone to 8 instead of 7. Let's assume we have wing walkers out there, guys, okay? Another thing I wouldn't have done. You got it over there? All right, let's stop here. Got the brakes parked. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is running. Oh, look at external power is available too. That's fast. That's New Zealanders, huh? Not bad, guys. And we're gonna go throttle quadrant. Both engines cut off. Secure checklist, Bobby. And he said, yes, sir. We're gonna come up here. My things are, I'm gonna turn up the primary window heat, hydraulic pumps, fuel pumps. Not gonna bring the stairs up until I get this beacon off. So beacon off, upper overhead. I gotta do the always challenging emergency lights. It's off. That's the best I've ever done on that one. And parking brake, I'm going to leave parked. Normal hydraulic panel set. Oh, I did something wrong up there. Let me see. Oh yeah, leave it to the checklist. Thank you, sir. And we get the IRUs off. APU we can shut down because we're on external. Get the APU shutting down. Shut the packs off. And all the lights are off. How are we doing the checklist? Checklist is secure checks complete. All right, let's get the ground crews out here. Request deboarding.
The boarding requested.
Let's go outside and see what they do. See if they cooperate. Whoa! Let's not do that, Mr. Drone. Looks like they're bringing stairs up. While they're doing that, let's take a look at the terminal. Queenstown terminal. Hello everyone, it's Father Time. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Queenstown. Hello everyone. Let's go over here. Tower operational. Oh yeah. Hello fellas. Father Time. Yeah, I flew that. Yeah, we know who you are, sir. The authorities are waiting for you. Yes, sir. Look at this gorgeous area. Come on. Come on. How cool is this
Passengers
guy?
bus is coming.
All right, guys, that's it. People will be getting off sure enough. That was a lot of fun. Please don't forget to subscribe. Really appreciate you guys. I take care of you, and I promised you, right, Paul? And I did it for you. And you know why? Because you guys have given me so many suggestions, so much help over the last 7 months that I've been flight simming. It makes me so excited to be part of your community. It's a good thing we didn't take that taxiway, right? Really is one of, there's the passenger bus there. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the hotel. Anyway, you get the idea.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Are they coming? Feel free to tune out now if you want, but it's actually how they work it. They pull it out here. Once it's here, they let them down the stairs. Once it's full, they hold the flight attendants hold them up at the door. Looks like the flight attendants are ready. There we go. In the bus, little fellas. Yeah, they all come. I am such a nerd. You people, whoever designs this stuff, you are so darn smart. Now I'm going to pause, say goodbye. If I can, I'm going to play back the landing. Who wants to see that again? Otherwise, it's Father Time out. See you next time. You got to see this. I'm back. So Benchy set me up with this new flight recorder thing. You guys probably know what it is, right? I had a pay-for version that stunk. I've never been able to play it back before. Here I am coming through the valley. About to make that hard landing for you guys. Oh, they opened the door. Here we go. It's all right. It's all right. 500 feet. Come on, Captain. Get on the center line, brother. I don't know. I think that stuff is great. All right, guys. Take care.